Today we want to talk about transmissions. Now, what is transmission? Transmission is passing from one person to another of interest in land, lease, or a charge by operation of law on death or insolvency. Now, if you remember on one of our editions of Corporate Corner where we talked about the 9 methods of acquisition of title to land. Now, transmission was one of the methods of acquisition of title to land. Now, we have several forms of transmission. We have transmission on death of a joint proprietor. We have transmission on death of a sole proprietor or proprietor in common. And we have transmission on bankruptcy. And we also have transmission upon a company's liquidation. Now today we're going to only talk about transmission on death of a joint proprietor and transmission on death of sole proprietor or proprietor in common. Now, transmission on death of a sole proprietor. Transmission on death of a joint proprietor. Now, when one or two of more joint proprietors of land, lease, or a charge dies, the registrar shall, upon proof of death, delete the name of the deceased proprietor by registration of a death certificate. What does this mean? Take the example of matrimonial property. Actually, this applies on matrimonial property. Now, when we have a situation whereby property is owned by husband and wife, and it probably forms that's what forms matrimonial property. When one of them dies, upon registration of the death certificate of the deceased, the name and interest of the deceased proprietor, one of two joint proprietors dies, upon registration of their death certificate, their name is automatically deleted from the register and all the interest is transferred to the surviving proprietor. Let us talk about transmission on death of a sole proprietor or a proprietor in common. Now, when a sole proprietor or a proprietor in common dies, the personal representative of the sole proprietor or proprietor in common shall, upon application to the registrar in the prescribed form, and I repeat, when a sole proprietor or proprietor in common dies, the personal representative of the sole proprietor shall, upon application to the registrar in the prescribed form and upon production of a grant, be entitled to be registered as a proprietor in place of the deceased proprietor by addition of the words as executor of the estate of, in brackets, deceased, the executor of the estate of so and so deceased, in brackets, or as administrator of the estate of so and so deceased, in brackets. This simply means that when a sole proprietor dies, the surviving beneficiaries have appointed a personal representative who is entitled to be registered in place of the deceased proprietor by addition of the words as executor of the estate of the deceased, or addition of the words as administrator of the estate of so and so deceased. This can only happen when the personal representatives have applied in the prescribed forms and when they have also produced a grant of the estate of the deceased proprietor. Today we are only going to talk about the two forms of transmission: the transmission on death of a joint proprietor and transmission on death of a sole proprietor. Keep watching, subscribe. If you have any comments to make, you can put in your comments on the comments field below the channel, and keep viewing and sharing this message. This message is for public consumption, and it's for you to help you understand such scenarios when dealing in land. Thank you. See you in the next edition of Corporate Corner.